Speeding is one of the most common factors contributing to traffic crashes. An average of more than 1,000 fatalities can be attributed to speeding every month. Speeding is so dangerous because it reduces the driver's ability to steer safely around curves or objects in the roadway. It extends the distance necessary to stop a vehicle, and it increases the distance a vehicle travels while the driver reacts to a dangerous situation. Stopping distances vary with vehicle condition and driver reaction time. The chart shows a typical stopping distance experienced at various speeds. Getting a ticket isn't the worst thing that can happen to a speeder. Driving too fast for conditions or exceeding the posted speed limit increase the chance of injury, death, and property damage. Let's go over some of the speed-related facts. Rural roads account for over 60% of all speed-related fatal crashes. 60% of all speed-related fatal crashes occur at night. Drivers involved in speed-related fatal crashes are more likely to have had a prior history of traffic violations. Males are involved in more speed-related fatalities than females. And driving impairment is highly correlated with speed among drivers involved in fatal crashes. Fuel consumption increases steadily over 45 miles an hour with passenger cars and light trucks, using approximately 50% more fuel traveling at 75 miles an hour than they do at 55 miles an hour. Increased speed also reduces engine, tire, and brake life, and it also increases insurance rates. Speed-related crashes cost society more than $23 billion a year. The National Highway Traffic Administration defines aggressive driving as the operation of a motor vehicle in a manner that endangers or is likely to endanger persons or property. Unlike road rage, which is defined as an assault with a motor vehicle or other dangerous weapon, by an assault precipitated by an incident that occurred on a roadway, aggressive driving is a traffic offense. The aggressive driver has a disregard for other drivers and may engage in unlawful acts such as speeding, improper or excessive lane changing, failing to signal intentions, tailgating, and illegally passing. Avoid becoming an aggressive driver. Factors such as stress, fatigue, emotional problems, alcohol and drug abuse, and even tight schedules can lead to general disregard for other drivers, which tend to make an aggressive driver. None of these issues justify aggressive driving. As a driver, you must focus on the task of driving. Avoid distractions like cell phones, even hands-free devices, eating, drinking, and putting on makeup. Never drink and drive. Make sure to have the proper rest and meal and try to relax. Signal your intentions far enough in advance to make other drivers aware of your changes. Stay within the speed limit and adjust your driving speed for the road conditions. Plan your route in advance to avoid confusion or frustration. Never try to catch up to lost time while driving. If you leave late, plan to arrive late. Plan your schedule and allow for adequate driving time, including traffic. And position your vehicle into the outside lane at least 1 mile before exiting. Leave emotions out of driving. Pull over at a safe location and take a break or relax if a situation on the road occurs that could affect your driving emotions. Don't drive immediately after an argument, excessive heated meeting, or other emotional activity. Settle down before getting into a vehicle to drive, and don't tailgate regardless of the speed of drivers ahead. Don't allow aggressive drivers to upset you. Get out of their way if possible. You don't want to be involved in an accident because of their bad decisions. Avoid eye contact. Remember, they may have a problem and you don't want to make the situation worse. Ignore gestures from aggressive drivers. Be a better driver and have more control over your own emotions. If a situation escalates, call the police. Too frequently, aggressive drivers cross the line to road rage. Don't stop unless you are in a public area where you feel safe. Your safety and ability to control your vehicle are your primary defenses against aggressive drivers. Always wear your seatbelt when driving. It keeps you in proper driving position and helps protect you in the event of an accident. Who's at the greatest risk for driver fatigue? Employees working late or odd shifts, drivers who drive many miles each day, those with unrecognized sleep disorders, and drivers taking prescription medication that causes drowsiness. Let's go over some of the symptoms. Eyes closing or going out of focus, persistent yawning, irritability, restlessness, impatience, wandering or disconnected thoughts, inability to remember driving the last few miles, driving or swerving between lanes or onto the shoulder, abnormal speed, tailgating, or failure to follow traffic signs, as well as back tension, burning eyes, shallow breathing, or inattentiveness. Let's go over a few things that may help you avoid driver fatigue. Get enough sleep and maintain a regular sleep schedule. Talk to your doctor about medication that could affect driving. Drive with your head up and your shoulders back. If possible, avoid driving during hours when you'd normally be sleeping. If you notice yourself getting drowsy, pull off the road in an appropriate place and take a break. On long trips, plan travel schedules in advance with stops for breaks, rest, and meals. Most pedestrian accidents occur when pedestrians walk onto a roadway and into the path of an approaching vehicle. Pedestrians often misjudge the speed and closeness of motor vehicles and assume drivers can and will slow down for them. Also, pedestrians think that because they can see the vehicle, the driver can see them. These kinds of errors in judgment are frequently why pedestrian accidents occur. Drivers should try to anticipate pedestrians making such errors and be prepared to compensate. Anticipate that a pedestrian may do the unexpected. Do a thorough walk around your vehicle before driving, especially when pedestrians are around. Adjust driving speed to anticipate and safely avoid a pedestrian. Do not assume that a driver will give a vehicle the right of way until it is obvious the pedestrian is waiting for the vehicle to pass. Use eye contact or a polite gesture to communicate your intentions to a pedestrian. Be especially careful at night in pedestrian areas. When turning a truck with a trailer, improper tracking may cause a trailer to run onto a sidewalk. Drivers should go very slowly and turn wide enough to avoid this. Remember that pedestrians all too often walk or stand in blind spots in front of and to the right of vehicles. Be extra cautious with children. They don't have the ability to fully negotiate the hazards of a vehicle on the road and can make unexpected moves into traffic without warning. Be extra cautious in school zones and in residential areas. Assume there are children and pets present. Intersections are one of the most dangerous points in the road. The inherent exposure at the intersection is that many vehicles converge at a single location, compounding the potential for driver mistakes in a single congested area. Some of the factors that contribute to the hazards include delayed perception, speed too fast for the conditions, and false assumptions. The conditions can be made even more hazardous with the introduction of large vehicles. Crossing intersections with large vehicles presents problems that car drivers do not have. Because of their length and their slow acceleration, trucks and buses take much more time to cross and clear intersecting roads than do cars. Also at night, the sides of long vehicles may not be conspicuous to approaching drivers. Drivers of large vehicles must recognize these problems and take special care when crossing intersections, particularly when they are uncontrolled intersections. Just a few driving tips. Be sure the speed you're traveling is appropriate for the visibility at the intersection. Always be able to stop just short of the intersection. Keep your eyes on the intersection at all times and keep your eyes moving. Never assume another driver is going to do what you think they should or what their signal indicates what they're planning on doing. Never assume other drivers abide by the right of way. Other drivers may not understand the rules. And never back up in an intersection. When driving large vehicles like trucks, especially when towing a trailer, approach intersections assuming that cross traffic may not obey traffic devices and anticipate the need for avoidance. Allow enough time to clear the entire intersection with the rear of the vehicle without interfering with cross traffic. Do not attempt to speed up or beat yellow lights. Be especially cautious crossing uncontrolled intersections at night with large vehicles. Approaching drivers may see the vehicle's headlights from the side, but may not realize a trailer is following. Keep vehicle lights and reflective devices clean and operational. Pre-trip inspections should identify any potential non-working safety devices.